now we continue with the types of health hazard at workplace. Okay, apart from the stress or psychological factors, these are the factors that usually might encounter in a workplace. The first one is a chemical. Okay, I think I have explained the definition. Agents that brings the hazard into the worker's body. Okay, and the next one is a physical, biological, and ergonomic. So what is the physical hazard? Okay, so these are the example on factors or the stressor on physical hazard. Okay, for the first one is a noise. Okay, the excessive noise, or we call it as an extreme noise. And then we have the vibration. Okay, and then pressure, temperature, radiation, and illumination. Next is biological, that usually the factors or the agent came from molds, fungi, virus, bacteria, insect, flora and fauna, and parasite. Okay, for example, here I can illustrate lab assistant. Okay, so for the lab assistant, they need to very carefully manage all the samples that might get affected to their self. Nowadays we have recent issues on COVID, so all the lab assistant, all the frontliners that deal with the samples on COVID, they need to really careful on proper PPE, okay, in order to ensure all the virus did not get affected to their health. For flora and fauna, the ranger, they need to know which types of flora and fauna that will get harm to their health. Okay, for certain flora, certain plants, they have their own poisons, okay, that might get harm to the people. So the ranger usually have been educated on types of the plants that might get affected to their health. So that's very important for them to know the types of plant and the probability and the risk during they doing their job. The last types of health hazard is ergonomic. Okay, so as I mentioned on our previous class, the definition of ergonomic is something that related to our physical and motion. Okay, so these are the example on ergonomic. The first one is a human motion. Okay, the second one excessive long sitting, long standing posture, hand, limbs motion, and strain. Okay, so if you have the a repetitive motion, okay, at the long period of time, it will lead to the ergonomic issues. Okay, excessive long sitting, you just sit without having exercise posture on how to sit, on how to stand, and then the hand, for example, on how to do the typing work, and then limbs motion and strain. Okay, so all these activities during the job will affect to our body. For example, you will get back pain, or you have the eye strain. Okay, other than that, maybe you will get fatigue, and so on. Okay.
Now at work, the name for all this protection is industrial hygiene, which is also called occupational hygiene, but it all means the same thing. Both industrial and occupational mean work, and hygiene means protecting health. In other words, we're simply talking about protecting people's health at work. When we do this, we plan ahead so we can identify these dangers at work and study these dangers at work so that we can decrease those dangers, or better yet, remove those dangers completely, no matter what kind of work we do, no matter how big or how small. For example, people's breathing and health can be harmed by possible hazards, such as dust or spray painting. These hazards can occur at large operations, such as construction sites or industrial painting sites. At small and medium operations, and with one person working alone. But regardless of the size and type of work, the people who are key to all of this are the industrial hygienists. They are the champions that protect workers. They are the eyes and ears of the workplace, the ones who help find health hazards and correct them. So, how do they do it? First, they start with expert scientific knowledge in chemistry, biology, and physics, and mathematics, and toxicology or poisons, and epidemiology or diseases, and, well, you get the idea. Then, they focus all that scientific training at strong ethical standards, also known as doing the right thing, and bring all these skills to the workplace. In the end, industrial hygienists are about people. Listening to people, talking with people, working with people, protecting people from workplace hazards. Together, workers and industrial hygienists form a team where everyone plays an equal part, where industrial hygienists bring their technical knowledge to the workplace, and where workers bring their personal knowledge and expertise about their work, their values, and their relationships. And this team shares one purpose, something that we all value, that everyone understands how to protect themselves and each other at work so that everyone goes home in good health at the end of each day.
So usually the company will have their own prevention program. So what other companies that usually will do is they need to identify the health hazard that might be the sources to the health hazard, okay, and then they need to know the nature of the occupations, the job, the task and industry, and they need to know the means, the severe of that affecting to the health of workers, and they need to study the health illness and diseases. From that only will know what are the control measure, what are the suitable programs to minimize or the curbs of health hazard. Okay, so these are the types of prevention program. You need to have the policy on the health program, administration program, inspection, training, education, promotion and awareness program, housekeeping program, PPE program, or some job innovation process or technical improvement in the job processes.
We care for each other at work by protecting each other's health, protecting each other from the hazards, the dangers at work. Chemical hazards, such as harmful liquids and gases, biological hazards, such as bacteria and viruses, and physical hazards, such as too much noise and heat. We also protect each other from the hazards of repeated movements, such as sewing, assembling parts, and typing, where we make the same movement again and again. And we protect each other from the mental and emotional stress at work that can cause illnesses and injuries. And the reason we protect each other from all these hazards is simple. Because at the end of the day, all of us want to go home in good health, to care for ourselves, our families, and our friends. It is the right thing to do.